with the...
Some behind the scenes.
Yeah, let's get to the, we're gonna, so I think there's...
The festival I'm working with, SFX Makeup. Stay tuned to see what's coming up next. Only great things coming.
He's gonna turn this individual.
Go for it.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. My name is Joe Castro, and I'm a special effects artist. I live in Hollywood, California. I want to thank the film festival for inviting me out to participate in this beautiful event. And it's very important for me to give back to the community, give back to my to the culture, the Latino culture and filmmaking. I will not be doing it. So he's going to hold him. But you can see, this is my husband, Steve Escobar here. He's going to help us. There we go. There we go. So for starters, we're going to use a new material that some of you may have heard of. It's called silicone. We use silicone now. We don't use rubber anymore. We don't use cotton and latex. We don't use those are old materials, and it doesn't look as realistic. That's silicone. So I'm using silicone today. The material that I'm using is this is correctly. So this is not something that you want to just have a city person jump into. It's been 1 minute. Okay. So I'm still mixing it here. Let's see here. Okay, well that's doing its thing there. Let's take a look over here. Yeah. And I've already got kind of like shaped the piece of glass, so I wanted to have a hard edge. I'm going to sit right here next to the eye. Okay. What are we doing with time, Steve? Okay. Close your eye. I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol and put it right into the eye. I'm going to close your eye. Okay, your eye. Keep your eye closed. You're not opening your eye like they open it. Oh, don't open it.
Is it okay if we move you some more this way so that the camera can catch
Don't open
you?
your eye. Don't open your eye.
I won't. No worries.
Right now? Yeah, after you're done with that, like that we can see, because he can't really move the camera.
Oh, he can't move. A little bit how it comes to the science where it will set. It will set instantly. If you know. And so tell me how you see time right here on his phone. But as a director or producer, you don't want to be thinking about all this stuff. Timing, this and that, and is the actor comfortable, and all this stuff. Thank you so much. And you want to be focused on the production.
It takes a team. It takes a whole team to do this stuff.
That's right. And so you want to have somebody that knows what they're doing to come in and do this. Okay. Take 4. I got about another minute. It's going to kick. Let's go about another minute.
So while that is, how about questions? I know that yesterday I was asking you, how did you learn all this?
Oh, that's a good question. How did I learn all this? Well, most people know that know me in the field know that when I was 7 years old, my father showed me a movie called Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. That was 1977. And when it was over, I said, Dad, how did they do that? And he said, let's watch the credits. And then the credits rolled up. And he said, see, that's special effects, son. That's how they do that. And I said, Dad, I want to do that. That's what I want to do when I grow up. So, to answer your question, I immediately started to do any sort of research I could. There were magazines back in the day. You used to read magazines. They didn't have the internet, right? And in these magazines, there were special effects artists that would, that would write articles and they would discuss how they did things. So if you read the magazine, it would give you techniques, and sometimes you'd be able to contact these people. Back in the day, we had this thing called 411, and you'd call somebody on the phone, an operator, 411, And if the person you were trying to reach was listed in the phone book, they'd give you their phone number. And then you could just call that person at home, right? So I used to call
Put it on the thing.
Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and who lived in Pittsburgh? Tom Savini. You know, who knows who Tom Savini is? Tom Savini lived in Pittsburgh, so I knew he lived there. So I called 411 Pittsburgh. Hello? Can I get the number to Tom Savini? How do you spell his name? Tomsavini. Okay, here's his number. And I'd call Tom on the phone. I'll say, hello? I said, hi, this is Joey Castro. I live in Helotes, Texas. I'm a big fan of yours. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you do what you do, Tom? Sure. Tom was a very kind man. Tom taught me how to do all kinds of things. Close your eye. There you go. Okay. Open your eye. Is it burned? No. It's okay. It's okay. This is. It's not gonna burn.
No, you're good.
Sorry about that. I just do it. Well, sometimes I wonder, because sometimes I do this thing for the first time, and I'm like, well, what is this? I mean, I don't think I've ever put a piece of glass next to someone's eye before, so.
That thing's gonna be sticking.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. So I'm gonna hold this here for a quick minute. Hold that there for a quick minute. Hold on a second. And anyhow, this chemical is safe for human skin. In fact, it's meant for human skin. It's called skin tight. But you wouldn't know this stuff, You wouldn't know this stuff unless you learn how to use this. And I still take a lot of classes. I call a lot of people in the industry that are working professionals, and I study with them still. And I know that actors do that as well. They still take classes and study and keep up their craft, and so I do the same. And like talking with Tom Savini, I studied with Rob Berman, whose father did the original Ghostbusters and Prophecy and Cat People and all those movies from the 80s. And I studied with Brian Wayne during the pandemic. A lot of special effects artists were out of work, and so I would call them up and say, hey, can I come over and watch you work? And then they would let me come over and study with them, and I learned a whole bunch of new techniques. Let's see how this is going. Let's see how this is going. How's that gonna go? Hold on. We're almost there. Once I get this on, we're gonna put some blood in his eye. I'm gonna make it look like a glass stuck in his eye.
Do you think people can learn a lot from watching YouTube videos and how-tos?
Well, there's a lot of stuff here that you're not going to be able to learn from a YouTube video. I mean, like if I didn't have him here and the timing and this kind of thing, I think I'd be able to show you a little bit more. But here's a little concoction. Let's see here. Where's the camera at? Let me see. Oh, there. Turn yourself like this. Can you open your eye?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. Here. Can you head back on? Okay.
What
Let me
is
see.
that?
I'll let click here.
Oh.
See, so sometimes, are you okay? Sometimes less is more. And so here we are, some demonstration. Something I think if I had a little more time and I wasn't doing the demonstration, I would maybe go in and put in, just a little more detail here and there. But this is pretty effective, especially for an action scene. If I wanted to, take the glasses, move it in his eye like this, like I was trying to pull it out of his eye, So, and with the right lighting, of course, too, we have the lighting all. Can we kill the light? Can we kill the light? I mean, in a horror film, you probably wouldn't see it like this. You would see it, and she's gonna kill the lights. We can light it, right? We can light it and only show. Do we have an on and off switch for the overhead lights?
I'm trying to get them right now.
No. Wait a minute.
Right there, the people behind you, right there, that window.
See, that would probably be more effective if we could hit from the right camera angle, keep it like that, and we kind of went in there. There we go.
There you go.
See, something like that. And then you have. then it might work, and I could even pull it like that a little bit. So, you know, and it would just be just enough. It would be just as you needed to see in the film. And I wouldn't have just anybody do this, you know, like I wouldn't have somebody use a real piece of glass. You know, I went to an actual professional Hollywood place where we bought this piece of fake glass, and then, of course, the stuff that goes in the eye, it's not just regular blood. It's not any kind of blood. It's a special kind of blood that's meant to just go into the eye. This kind of thing. So, and then, of course, just to take this off, we could just, you okay?
Yeah.
You're doing good, right?
Of course.
Okay, good. I'm just going to peel this right off. There's no glue involved at all. There's a lot of... Do I have, how much time do I have? Do I have time for something else? I don't know. Do I have time to do it?
One check, cut his hand off.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just so intrigued, sorry. Yeah, you have just
How much time do I have?
a minute.
Oh, yeah, I only have a minute. I really, that's the quickest I ever did a special effect was 5 minutes. I told them I needed 30, and they said, no, you only got 5. So I said, I told the actor, meet me on set, you know, in front of the camera. He went, he laid down in front of the camera, and as they were getting line the shot, I was doing the special effect. And then when I was done, they were, okay, roll camera, because they were losing the location. So sometimes, you know, you
Tell
just...
them about your other workshop.
Oh, okay, so tonight we're going to have an hour and a half. And tonight I'm going to be creating La Llorona. Now I've made La Llorona for several films. I made La Llorona for a movie called The Whaler. And that was back in 2005. That was the first feature film made about La Llorona. And then I did it again a couple of years ago for The Curse of La Llorona. And we're talking about his eyes. Oh, his eyes are fine. Yeah, and then, but tonight I'm going to do a whole new version of it. And I'm going to introduce everybody to a new technique that's called encapsulated silicone prosthesis. And it's great, it's fantastic. It's the most realistic version of a prosthetic or a skin or a latex that you can put on a person's face. And they use it now, it's very common today in movies. And it's when you see those makeups in movies that people win Academy Awards for, you know, they use it to do all these old age makeups, and they use it to like alter people to look like, you know, like the gentleman in the new Batman film where they made him look scarred up and whatnot. So we're going to be using an encapsulated silicone prosthetic tonight, and we're going to make, I don't want to give it away, but you know, there's going to be maggots involved, and you know, she's going to be crying blood, and it's going to be very, very intense, and I'm really looking forward to it. What was that? Oh no, we're not using real maggots. But I kind of got the idea that we would do something like where, you know, it's the ghost of La Llorona, you know, she would have like a dead face, and you know, what all that involves. And I'll start from the beginning, where we talk about how we design a character when working with the director, all the way through creating it, and then of course taking it off the actor safely, so that everybody feels safe, and the production is, you know, it's a very professional technique. All right, I think that's about all I have time for. Thank you for coming out today.